Welcome back to the Sim Racing Show, everyone. Your one-stop shop for all of the news in the world of sim racing. And it's a big week in sim racing. Big news this week, lots of news. We've got new hardware coming from a new manufacturer in sim racing. We've got new hardware coming from two of the biggest sim racing companies. We've got big news about a new sim in sim racing. We've got some prizes to be won in game. There's a lot of stuff coming, basically. So by the end of this video, you're going to be up to date on everything that's important in sim racing. So I want to start off with actually this new sim, and that is Project Motor Racing, which is the worst name. It was called something different before. It's from Ian Bell, who created, I believe, Need for Speed Shift 1, Shift 2, which both of them I really enjoyed actually. Project Cars 1, Project Cars 2, I really enjoyed. And then Project Cars 3, which was terrible. It was a really bad game. So he's coming off a bad game. He's promising the world. And something unusual has happened because this game, Project Motor Racing, was meant to be on Unreal Engine 5, but it's just been switched to run on the Farming Simulator engine, which is very unusual. And again, it's sort of been spun in a way. He's saying that it's going to be better for VR, but I'm not really sure that Farming Simulator's engine has been used in VR before. Again, it's another blow for Unreal Engine 5 when it comes to sim racing. I have played Rennsport in VR, which is an Unreal Engine game, and it's really bad. It's just really bad resolution. It's as bad as F124. But Project Motor Racing, new sim coming from Ian Bell, new engine. Is that going to delay it? I don't know. They're promising that it's going to be really good. I'm just going to let you know honestly because I'm taking everything there with a pinch of salt. Speaking about sim racing, taking it with a pinch of salt, Rennsport news. By the way, the World Cup of sim racing literally just took place in Saudi Arabia, and you wouldn't know. No one knows because no one was watching. It was being broadcast by Rennsport, and literally no one was watching. $400,000 prize fund, and you can guess how it's being bankrolled because they've just added Jeddah. So they've added the Jeddah circuit for Saudi Arabia to Rennsport, Saudi Arabian circuit, World Cup in Saudi Arabia. Have a guess where the money's coming from. I really worry about Rennsport. I actually when I played Rennsport in the open beta, I've quite enjoyed it. It's sort of like Gran Turismo on PC for me. It's really fun racing side to side. It's definitely not a hardcore sim like Le Mans Ultimate or iRacing for me. But Rennsport, I mean, what is going on with that game? At some point, is the music going to stop and they're going to realise that no one's really that interested in it? Anyway, let me know if you're interested in Rennsport. Sim racing news now. Esports news story. Big drama in F1 esports because Jarno Opmeer, the most famous F1 esports driver probably, has gone to Red Bull. He's left Mercedes and he's gone to Red Bull. There was speculation maybe he was going to go to Alpine, maybe he was going to go somewhere else, but he's gone to Red Bull Racing. That's going to shake things up a little bit for Jarno. Maybe hasn't been on his top form in the last couple of years, but like I said, I think the most famous sim racing driver in the world probably. Let's move on to Race Room now. This is a sim that I know a lot of you have been talking about in the comments. Interesting sim because it's free to play, and they've added some DTM DLC that looks very intriguing. They've got a classic DTM DLC that's got the Opel Calibra and the Alfa Romeo 155, that iconic red DTM touring car, and historic tracks like classic Hockenheim. And they've done a new DTM pack, 2024 DTM pack, and that includes like the McLaren 720S GT3 Evo, incredible looking car, and the Huracan GT3 Evo 2 as well. And they're doing a big graphics update. So Race Room are really pushing things now. Free to play sims. So if you don't like iRacing and the subscription model, maybe have a look at Race Room. It's always been the sim that people kind of who play it are really big fans, but people who don't play it don't really know about it. But I want to let you know about the news from Race Room there, and I'll definitely be giving that a go. Hardware now. Let's talk about hardware from existing manufacturers. Moza have launched new pedals, CRP2 load cell pedals. I'm actually using them right now. 200 kg load cell. Is it too much? Well, I've had to make some adjustments. I've got some pros and cons to let you know about with the Moza CRP2s. That'll be coming on the pedal. They've also launched, well, actually, let me get on to what they've launched, what they haven't launched. They are bringing an active pedal. So the active pedal has dual 200 kg load cells, which seems insane. And this is going to undercut the SimuCube active pedal, which is thousands of dollars. Moses will probably come in less than $1,000. Be very surprised if it doesn't come in less than 1,000. But that is going to transform braking, I think, in sim racing. I think everyone else is going to have to compete with that. And they've also announced a new wheel with Porsche. So they've got a deal with Porsche, which I think, by the way, is massive because Porsche, big German automotive company. I spent a lot of time with Thomas Laudenbach at Porsche Motorsport. they see sim racing as huge. And they've licensed the Mission R electric race car steering wheel to Moza, not to Fanatec. So big shot across the bows from Moza to Fanatec there. It's got a flexible OLED screen. It looks really high quality. Hopefully I'll be reviewing it on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. An interesting one from Moza. And now let's talk about new sim racing hardware from a new company in sim racing. That's Nacon. Nacon published Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The last beta I really didn't enjoy. I didn't think it was very good. The previous beta for that I actually really did enjoy. I'm not affiliated with Nacon. Always give my honest thoughts on that. They've launched a sim racing wheel by surprise. It's a 9 Newton meter direct drive wheelbase. Sounds good. Called RevoSim. Comes with load cell pedals and a GT style steering wheel. Got a 100 kg load cell pedal. So around the same range as the Fanatec V3s, that's 90 kg, and the Logitech G Pro load cells, 100 kg. And it's designed for desk and rig use. So it's one that you can buy, use it on your desk, and then upgrade to go onto your rig when you get one. It's only PC at the moment. They haven't got a license for PlayStation or Xbox. That would be a bit of a game changer. But one to keep an eye out there. 9 Newton meters is a really nice sweet spot. Let's talk about Fanatec now. Fanatec adding a new product. It's a shaft extension for the Clutchsport DD. I actually think this is a really sensible product from Fanatec. I've been using a shaft extender, no laughing at the back, on my Moza R16 with my Asher racing wheel, and it gives it a really nice sort of GT style to it. Just feels like you're driving a real car. There's something about it rather than having the wheels sort of clamped really close to the wheelbase. That's coming in at $99, so just under $100. Really sensible product from Fanatec. I can see it being a successful product. They're probably going to make good margin on it as well, and it's not too expensive in the scheme of things. Big news on Fanatec coming, by the way. I'll let you into what's going to happen later on a video on this channel, which is going to be the shareholders meeting has been cancelled. And it looks like Thomas Jackemeyer might have given up his attempts to regain control on Fanatec. Now, there's different ways you can interpret that. Is that because he's actually partnering with someone else? Is it because he just doesn't have the money and he's moving on to new things? But in any event, it looks like the shareholders are really going to lose out in Fanatec. So existing shareholders probably going to get, well, they're going to lose out in the current insolvency. So that's the way that battle is going at the moment. And a little competition to let you know about in EA F124, which is a really conflicted game. The casual players don't seem to enjoy it that much. The esport players don't seem to enjoy it that much. So Codemasters, you just need to decide. I would say make a game that works really well for the casuals, because then at least you're going to have the casual players enjoying it like myself, rather than being somewhere in the middle. But there's a new competition where you can win Max Verstappen's helmet in-game, which is quite cool. I like it when people in real life, race in real life, they do these time trials in-game and you can beat them and get a little reward. Obviously, when I raced Max Verstappen in iRacing, he crashed into me, but we'll move on from there. I think something I want to just touch on is how it is such a hot space for sim racing at the moment. We've got so much hardware coming out. Corsair were at Gamescom as well, showing their sim racing rig. And when I spoke to Corsair, they confirmed they're in sim racing, whether it's with or without Fanatec, like they're here. Moza shaking things up, going after SimuQ with the active pedal, going after Fanatec, I think, with the Porsche Mission R steering wheel as well. Nacon coming in. We're going to have more sim racing, maybe like publishers sort of come in and try and do their hardware. So very, very, very exciting. Lots to keep tabs on. I've been using the Thrustmaster T818 recently as well, which is a great sim racing direct drive wheel that I think is really sort of underrepresented. And Race Room as well, offering different stuff for different people if you don't want to go for that subscription. So yeah, really exciting time for sim racing. Let me know what you've been seeing in sim racing in terms of the news. Make sure you subscribe as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 100k subscribers. It'd be great to have you on board, and sign up to the newsletter at simracenews.com. And I will see you next time.